Hey guys, we're here downtown at Intuition Ale Works located in Jacksonville, Florida. Intuition's been brewing beer since 2010, and they're also one of the first breweries that came their beer in the state of Florida. Also, they're responsible for Nocatee's two house beers, Nocatee Golden Ale and Nocatee Orange Wit. And today we're happy to announce we're going to pair with them for the third time to bring you the Nocatee I.P.A. Stay tuned. Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. John.
I'm Marion.
Marion, tell me a little bit about Intuition.
Well, Intuition Ale Works is Northeast Florida's largest craft brewery. We were founded in 2010. We are now in our second location, which opened to the public in 2016. And this is where we make beer, serve beer, have live music, and do all that fun stuff.
So we already have a couple of Intuition beers, the Nocatee Golden and the Nocatee Orange Wit. Can you tell me a little bit about those?
Absolutely. So the Nocatee Golden is an English-style golden ale. It is lightly hopped, not very impactful on the aroma or the flavor part of things, but the hops just add a little bit of bitterness that provides that dry finish, so that after you're done taking a sip, you want to come back for another one.
Nice. So the Orange Wit was our second beer that we got, the Nocatee Orange. Tell me a little bit more about that one.
So that's more in the Belgian style of a traditional wit beer with a couple of slight recipe adjustments to give it a little bit of extra zing. It's brewed with orange, coriander, and a hint of chamomile.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So I hear that you're interested in having a new Intuition beer available to Nocatee residents starting next year. Is that
all
right?
the residents are so crazy about, we want an IPA, we need an IPA. So hopefully we can work out a new deal where that IPA will be coming soon.
Well, I think I might have a few options for you to test out today.
Yes, I can't wait.
In the meantime, are you interested in checking out the production facility to see how we make the sauce?
Yes, definitely. Let's go check it out.
All right. So we're standing at the rear of the production facility. Every beer that we sell, we produce right here in our facility in-house. And the brewing process starts off with grain. This is the first step of the process. Get the grain, crack it open so that we can get it milled and get it ready to mash. Doesn't it smell nice?
I love the smell.
It's like grape nuts. Come on up, I'll show you the brew deck next. This is where the brewing happens.
Okay, so this is the next step after the grain.
That's right.
Okay.
Although this isn't actually where that grain is headed right now.
Oh, okay.
I'll show you that in a minute, but I wanted to show you this. This is was our original brew house that the brewery first started with in 2010. Wow. This is capable of producing around 330 gallons of beer at a time.
That's a lot of beer.
Well, not necessarily beer yet. It just produces the wort that we then send over to these fermenters that you can see right behind us. So one brew on that brew house can fill one of these. So it says 10 on there, 10 BBL. This holds 10 barrels of beer. Over across the way there is a 30 barrel fermenter.
Wow.
And that, of course, takes 3 times of brewing to fill it.
How big can these get?
Well, just come right this way and I'll show you. All right, these are some of our big boys. We have some 90 barrel fermenters behind you and then 120 barrels as well.
Okay.
So it takes between 3 and 4 brew cycles on this, which is our current production brew house. It's capable of brewing 30 barrels at a time. It's a 4-vessel brew house, which enables us to begin mashing in another batch while we're still in the process of finishing off the first batch. So it really helps us save time and brew as much as we need to get the job done. If you'd like to follow me, I'll show you how everything happens. This is our brew deck, and we have beer in various stages of the process right now. If you want to take a look in here, you'll see this is what the mash looks like. So the first thing we do is we have to mash the grain. That means we add warm water to it and make a big malty bath. Okay. And that's what you can see down here. While we are soaking it, there's a very important enzyme process that's going on, converting starches into sugar. The job of the mash is to maximize that enzymatic process so that we can get as much sweet, sugary wort out of this grain as possible. This is our boil kettle. The boil kettle has this nice big calandria in the middle of it. And this is a very important step of the process because when we're boiling all of the juice that we get from the malt, we're sanitizing it, we're sterilizing it, killing off any other things aside from the enzymes that we don't really want still in there,
Exactly.
right? And then it's also where we add some of our hops. A hop is basically just a plant. It's the closest cousin to cannabis in the plant world.
Okay.
So anybody who might be familiar with some of the flavor aromas and the different alcohols that make up all the flavor compounds in various strains of cannabis, a lot of those exist in hops as well. Historically, hops were used just as a preservative because they are high in alpha acidities. In the last couple hundred years, hops have taken on a much more prominent role in the flavor profile of a beer and also the aroma. And now there are hundreds of different varieties of hops that modern brewers can choose from to craft this very specific mouthfeel, flavor profile, and aroma profile for whatever style of beer they'd like to make. The last step in the brew process here up on the deck is the whirlpool. And that's where we spin it around, try to extract all the additional solid matter out of the liquid that we can. So that includes hops, any trub, any leftover malt proteins and stuff like that. And then what we're left with is a clarified liquid, very sweet, and we can push that straight through our plate chiller, and it goes through one of these hoses, then into the bottom of this tank. This is the fermenting vessel that we're filling up right now. And you can see this bucket over here that's bubbling and roiling.
Yeah.
Well, that's all just air being pushed out of the top of this tank as we slowly fill it up.
Okay.
The next step of this process is adding our yeast. The yeast, throw a big yeast party, multiply rapidly, kind of like when you make yeast bread.
Okay,
and you let it rise. All that is just because the yeast is going wild. It does the same kind of thing inside a fermentation vessel. The difference being, instead of eating up the sugar that's in your dough ball, what it's doing is it's eating up all the sugars that's in that sweet wort that we just brewed on the brew deck. And it's converting it to alcohol and to carbon dioxide. So one of them provides the happy thoughts that everyone gets when they're drinking a beer, and the other one provides the carbonation.
Science.
Science! We clarify it further by sending it over to one of these shallow bottom vessels known as a bright tank.
Okay.
The bright tank is where we check the carbonation level of the final beer and add carbonation to it as necessary to make sure that it has just the right mouthfeel and that it's a consistent product every time we create it. From the bright tank, that is ready to package. There are two ways we can do that. Right behind you here, you see Axel just finished filling some of these kegs. So we're able to fill kegs directly off of a bright tank like this, or on a day when we're running our canning line, we'll hook our canning line hose up to this tank and send it right down through our canning line. Okay. But it all depends on what the consumers need. So if we need to, we can produce more canned beverages. If we need to keg some of it, we can do that. So it's always a packaging split.
Okay. And there you have it, folks. A behind-the-scene look at intuition and where our beer comes from here at Nocatee. I want to give a shout out to Marion for giving us an awesome tour and all the information that we learned here today. Also, make sure you check out social media. We're going to be posting highlights from this video and other clips, and when our release party is going to be for the brand new beer. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you at the bar.